Solutions Private Limited. My name is Shivakrishna. I have 10 plus years of experience in IT development and training. Today we are discussing about what is Cpython. What is Cpython? The Cpython is the Cpython is the reference implementation of Python programming language written in written in C language. Written in C language. The Cpython is the reference implementation of Python programming language written in C language. Next one, it is the standard default and most widely used Python implementation. Whenever we are downloading Python software from Python official website www.python.org, by default we are getting Cpython. The Cpython support both compiler and interpreter. The compiler takes the Python source code as a input and converting into bytes code. The interpreter takes the byte code. That byte code is passing to PVM and converting into mission code. The compiler takes the Python source code as a input and converting into bytes code. Okay. Now observing very clearly, coming to here, Cpython interprets Python code and compiles it into byte code, which then executed by the Python virtual machine. Already in the previous video we are discussing about what is Python virtual machine. Okay, Cpython interprets Python code and compiles it into byte code, which then executed by the Python virtual machine. Okay, now we are discussing about what is the difference between Python and Cpython. What are the differences between? What is a difference between Python and Cpython. What is the difference between Python and Cpython? Observing very clearly, Python is a programming language. Python is a Python is a language. Python is a language specification, syntaxes, keywords and core concepts. Syntaxes. Okay, language specification, defining syntaxes and the keywords. Python is a language specification, defining syntax, keywords, and core concepts. Next one, Cpython is an interpreter. Cpython is an interpreter that executes the Python code. That executes the Python code. That is the differences. Python is a language specification defining syntax and the keywords. Cpython is an interpreter that executes the Python code. This is about Cpython. Cpython is the reference implementation of the Python programming language written in C language. It is the standard, default, and most widely used Python implementation whenever we are downloading Python software from Python official website www.python.org. By default, we are getting Cpython. Cpython support both the compiler and interpreter. Compiler first take the source code and converting into bytes code. The interpreter takes the byte code. That byte code is passing to the Python virtual machine. The Python virtual machine to process that byte code and generate the machine code. That machine code is passing to the processor. That is the statement. Cpython interprets Python code and compiles it into byte code, which then executed by the Python virtual machine. Okay, thank you guys. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates.